Taking to Instagram to post side-by-side photos of his body transformation, Braun Strowman wrote, "Remember, life's a journey. There will be many bumps in the road, but if you can remember to stay true to yourself and keep your chin up when life gets tough, you can do anything you want. Believing in yourself when others don't is the hardest part. This journey has been far from easy for me. It's a constant test mentally and physically. I've been told so many times in my life that I was gonna fail. I've slipped many times, but I've refused to quit. I refused to believe the people that told I wouldn't make it. I used their negativity to fuel the monster that's inside of me to succeed. Only you can stop yourself. When life gets tough, remember you are indestructible and you can make it what you want it to be. Believe in yourself and watch others follow suit." Touching on his decision to take a break from his podcast, Colt Cabana would clarify that this has nothing to do with CM Punk's comments at the AEW All Out Media Scrum. "I didn't delay it because the company that I work for told me not to talk about anything, what I could or could not do. I like to put out shows occasionally spotlighting my friends or people that I find super interesting, and from the beginning, I was so open, maybe even to a fault, about dealing with losing my dream job of WWE, or fighting to be an independent wrestler, or how to make money in wrestling, or how to survive a lot of things." With WCW legend Konnan in search of a kidney donor, many fans have offered their own, as the man himself responded to this on Keeping It 100, saying, "I don't really like to talk about myself or make myself the victim or poor guy or, that's not me. But something really nice happened, man. I had a lot of candidates say, hey, I will donate a kidney to you. I'm very touched. I haven't gotten back to anybody yet, but I will. And somebody's gonna save my life, bro. And that's a beautiful thing. So it restores my faith in humanity, which I have very little left in it. I want to thank all the people that offer this. It's a beautiful thing. And so one of the things that I was having a problem with, and I don't know if I told you about, I haven't slept in 5 or 6 months, literally. I've slept an hour a day, 2 hours a day. I stay up 50 hours straight. And I found that the reason is because I was so stressed out that I couldn't find a kidney. In the last few days, I've slept 3 hours. 3 hours to me is gold." With him not having wrestled for AEW since the All Out event, Andrade would post an update on his status, writing, "My first surgery. I can't believe it happened. A few months ago, I tore my pectoral muscle. Thank God. I could and wanted to finish my match. I kept working because I love the business, but we know that many people do not value your effort. These days off, I took the opportunity to go to doctor. A few months back, pro bodybuilder Greg Doucette called out The Rock for his claims of consuming 8,000 calories a day. As he said on his YouTube channel, "I ride bikes. I do a ton of cardio. I can tell you there is no way The Rock burns enough calories to average 8,000 to 6,000 calories a day and look like this. If he actually ate those kinds of calories, 6 to 8,000 calories a day, he would be 100 pounds overweight. Every day I personally eat more than I see Rock eat, yet I eat an average of 3,500 calories a day. I usually eat 3 to 4,000 calories a day. How can The Rock eat twice what I eat? Is he twice my size? Does he work out twice as hard as Coach Greg? Is he racing bikes as far as I am? Is he even doing a ton of cardio? I don't think so. So how do you think that The Rock is staying in the shape that he is if he's eating that many calories?" Newsflash, report Greg right here, reporting the news, The Rock's lying. Taking to his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T noted how AEW may not survive after seeing the Elite make fun of CM Punk and the All Out Brawl during their recent match on Dynamite. Man, I'm perplexed on that situation right there, just because I don't think it was anything tasteful about it, I don't think rehashing what happened a couple of months ago as opposed to letting it go away is making anything better as far as that company goes. And if Tony Khan knew about it and signed off on it, and they know CM Punk isn't coming back, they're probably going to be thinking about moving their headquarters after this last show here in Chicago. Like I said, I don't see what the smarts were in going out there and doing something like that. Leaning into it just because it's where CM Punk is from and you're going to get some heat, you know what I mean? And you can't take the heat. It's almost like you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. Two rights don't make a wrong. I just didn't. For me, it was just distasteful. If they're heels, it's easy for them to go heel on the city without bringing CM Punk into play. They're gonna be heels. They're going to get booed anyway, so leaning into it makes it just rehashes squashes what happened at the scrum, which does nothing for that company. I think you can make your point without going to a certain degree, and I think the stuff with CM Punk and the Young Bucks, it should have been over that night, okay? It should have been over. And these guys have been suspended. Then they still want to come back and play games. There again, it's not a job. They're having fun. And and that's my take on that. I just think it's childish stuff. When you're performing on my show, it's a script. And when you go out there and just perform, that's where things get hectic. That company could be closed down in a couple of years, and these guys are going to be wondering what the hell happened. And it's because they're going out there and playing games, not understanding what this stuff is really about. They're working their butts off. They're bumping like crazy. Those guys are taking some of the craziest bumps you've ever seen, but they do it. If everybody can figure that out, I'm sure the Young Bucks bank account looks pretty well. So if you can figure that out, you're okay. Talking about the environment in WWE under Triple H, Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair told Bleacher Report, "It kind of feels like NXT all over again. I think when we were in NXT, it was special. It was a time where the women's locker room was full of women empowerment. We were competitors, but we wanted the best for each other. Now we're right back to that. But what's amazing is that it's 3, 4, 5 years later, it's those same women, but we've all gotten even better. We've evolved. So it's exciting to see where it's going to go and how much better it can get." On his To Be The Man podcast, Nature Boy Ric Flair spoke about Ricky Steamboat's recent match as he claimed he could wrestle again. I've not spoken to him, so I don't know the answer to that. When I spoke to him, we were trying to get him to work with us. He indicated to me back then that he didn't think health-wise he was ready to do it. It's what makes him feel good. Like I say about myself, I could wrestle again right now too, and I'd be a lot better than I was in the last match. Because when you're gone away that long, you forget about little things that'll make a difference, and you spend too much time getting in shape for it that you don't think about little things like dehydrating. I was so into the training part that I forgot about little things. I think he should do what he wants to do. He's Ricky Steamboat. There's only going to be one Ricky Steamboat, whether it's good or bad. It's not going to affect his legacy. He's the best babyface in the history of the business. Touching on the match between Shotzi Blackheart and Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series, former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas told Wrestling Inc. that, I don't know, something just didn't click. It didn't feel like these women connected very well together. We talked about this on the post-show with Justin LeBar and Jack Farmer on Saturday night. Ronda just doesn't seem comfortable in her heel role or heel persona. It doesn't feel genuine. Austin Theory or somebody like that, you feel like it's genuine. You feel like that's the guy. With Ronda, it feels like she's playing heel wrestling. It just doesn't feel authentic. Obviously, I don't like the matches that look overly choreographed. At the same time, there weren't botches, but things were not smooth. With him taking to social media, CM Punk would post a picture of his dog Larry as he appears to be missing a couple of his front teeth. If you remember, it was reported following the all-out brawl between Punk, Ace Steel, and the Elite that Punk's dog was injured and was said to have lost teeth during the interaction. Following surgery on his torn pec and months of rehab, an update on Cody Rhodes was given as the Wrestling Observer wrote that Cody Rhodes' recovery is going well. He's been working heavily with top-level trainers to put on size and strength and hit 240 pounds legit, which may be the thickest he's been in his life. He's back to normal when it comes to his ability to train and lift. No word when he'll return, given it makes sense for it to be a surprise. When it comes to the recent booking of William Regal in AEW, it seems many are questioning the president of the company, Tony Khan, as Dave Meltzer reported that. But all that is fine, but I can't understand putting so much heel steam to the point of being the point man and stealing the title on Regal. When it was known by the key people by this point, he was gone in a few weeks. I mean, story or not, the guy was leaving. A lot of talent has questioned that in the same way now that everyone knows he's leaving. On After the Bell, Kevin Owens touched on feeling the effects of Sami Zayn's backstage heat as he said, "At this point on Monday, what I said came from the heart. We've done this for a long time. We've really helped each other throughout our careers a lot, but we've probably held each other back as well, just because of the constant pairing in people's minds. Even when we're not together, I'll tell you this, back in 2017 in people's minds, he and I were so one that if he got heat backstage for something, I'd get heat too. Even if I had nothing to do with it. We got kicked off a Europe tour once together for something that I don't think either of us had anything to be blamed for, but I was barely involved. It was just, get those guys out of here. It wasn't just get one of them, both of them. Literally, the aspect of what I said on Monday stands. It's just time to be done. He's thriving. I meant that on Monday too. People are seeing the Sami Zayn that I've known was there for 20 years. I don't know why it took people so long to take notice and get the credit he deserves, because he's been incredible in WWE the whole time. The last few months have obviously opened people's eyes, and it's great, but I don't think it's optimal for our careers to be parallel anymore. With Brock Lesnar first leaving WWE in 2004 following WrestleMania 20, it seemed he had interest in joining TNA, with Kurt Angle saying this on his podcast. "Okay, Brock calls me. He is not in WWE. He says, 'Listen, man, can you get me in TNA?' I probably shouldn't even be saying this now, but you know what? Brock doesn't care. He said, 'Hey, what are you making?' And I said what I was making. He said, 'If you can get me that, I'll come.' I approached TNA, and they said, 'No, we're not going to give him that kind of money.' I think they were at the top of their budget, where they couldn't really give any more money out. I was making a lot of money. Sting was making a good bit of money. And then you had a bunch of guys on the roster. You know, TNA, the Carter family funded it for a long time, and then TNA started making their own money, but it just wasn't enough to bring in another guy for 7 figures a year. I don't think they were capable enough to do that. After suffering an unfortunate miscarriage in October, Carmella would take to Instagram to write, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your love and support has meant the absolute most to me. This fall has been one of the most challenging in my life, but I know I'm not alone." With him recently undergoing neck fusion surgery, Robert Roode went on Instagram after the fact and wrote, "Big thank you to Dr. Andy Cordover and his amazing staff at Andrews Sports Medicine and St. Vincent's Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama. C5 and 6 fusion is complete. Now the work begins. Recovery and rehabilitation. Looking forward to the challenge." Speaking about the Bloodline on After the Bell, Corey Graves compared the group to the NWO, saying, "These guys are going to run this place for the foreseeable future. There are so many exciting ways that this could go, and I dare say this is a more compelling situation than the NWO because of the reality behind it. When I say they are as deep as they are dangerous, I mean it with every fiber of my being. I gush about these guys constantly. They're my favorites on screen, but they're also a lot of my favorites off screen. I truly believe everything that they do, but for my money right now, the Bloodline is well on its way to being as hot of an act that endures the test of time in this business, second maybe only to the NWO. Taking to Twitter, WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash would ask fans to help him fulfill the request of his late son, who passed away earlier this year, as he wrote, "I never ask for anything, but I'm asking anyone that is willing to subscribe to my podcast, click this. My son passed away 6 weeks ago, and he wanted 100K subscribers so he could get a plaque from YouTube. I want to put it next to his urn. Thank you." AEW President Tony Khan replied, "I subscribed. So should everyone else. Very sorry for your loss." Nash would then write back to everyone, "I can't thank you enough. I love you all. I know he watched this. You made my year not sting so much. It will be a part of his life. You've brought a beat down man to tears. Again, with all my heart, thank you." Speaking about the physique of Kevin Owens, Dutch Mantell said on his podcast, Owens has a lot of heat on him anyway because if you look at him, he doesn't have the body. He doesn't have the tan. He looks like a cab driver going to get in his cab. Great worker, but his external features or look doesn't fit the profession that he's in. I think they say he still blows up, which in my worst shape, I got tired, but I don't know. He's probably doing 15 minutes every night, so that should keep you in working shape, but I don't know. What can make you blow up too is nerves. If you get nervous, that can hinder your breathing or just emotion, I guess. With him reportedly set to feud with MJF over the AEW World title, it seems Bryan Danielson won't be appearing at a fan event, as he took to social media to write, due to unforeseen circumstances. I will no longer be appearing at Wales Comic Con this Saturday, December 3rd. We are working with the team at Wales Comic Con. Can my appearance for the spring of 2023. Please stay locked into walescomiccon.com as they will have more information once we confirm the new date. On his podcast, Nature Boy Ric Flair spoke about what could be next for WWE star Sasha Banks, as he said, absolutely cannot imagine Sasha Banks not returning to WWE. She wouldn't go to AEW. She's been in Mexico wrestling too. I talked to her. I've talked to her a couple of times. When asked if he was betting that she would wind up back in WWE, Ric Flair said, yeah, if she likes to do anything, she's looking at outside options. I hope that she gets back in the business. Staying on the topic of William Regal leaving AEW, the Wrestling Observer reported that Regal's gone. It's not like maybe he's gone, I believe that's his farewell. I believe there's going to be something on Wednesday's show where there will be something addressing certain things. That story is supposed to keep going in some way, but he is going back to WWE. That's just the deal. I've had so many different people tell me so many different stories. The primary source story was that his contract was short term. The WWE side says that he had an out. The closest thing to what I would say is official would be he signed a short-term deal. Others say he had an out or Tony gave him an out. Whatever it was, I certainly know that when he signed it was a 3-year deal supposedly, and 9 months now it's over. It sounds weird. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.